Second. Yes, we are recording this English meeting right now. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this English speaking session. Yes, you can channel, and we are here with our friends from Qatar and from Bangladesh, which is Tanvir and now Rolf. So, guys, we're talking just about how was our last week since the last time that we practiced, and I would like to. Okay, just a second. I was sorry, guys. Maybe we had some problems. My colleague is unfortunately left our English meeting. Just let me see what happened and let me see if they will join again. While I'm telling you that, I'd like to say that if you are not subscribed at my YouTube channel, I really encourage you to subscribe here, give me a thumbs up, and let me see how is your English level. Let me hear your English level. How can you do that? Just send me a message here at our English YouTube channel, which is called Yes You Can, and there we can make touch each other, and maybe you can have my contact, my personal contact, to practice English with me. And even though maybe our English partners will be your friends as well, and we're gonna build our English community as we are doing right now. So at this English speaking session, maybe you already noticed it. I got so many people. I got people from China, Bangladesh, Poland, Cambodia, Qatar, and Pakistan. So, as you note, it's people from all over the world, almost all over the world. I'm looking for more people, of course. Maybe a native English speaker. I had no one at this profile here at our English speaking club, but I'm looking for, of course. But first of all, I'd like to share with you that we are not English teacher. We are just English learners that have been studying English for a while. In my case, it's more than for the 4 years right now. I'm looking for improving my English level. I always, when I came here to this English speaking session, I'm looking for improving my own English skills. And I'm so glad that you made it, that you are here. So, and if you are looking for some places that you can join, you can practice, you can speak with other people who are not who people who are not able to understand your native language. Because when you start associate with people who are not the same language, who doesn't speak at the same language as you, does not speak the same language, idiom, or things like that, it'll be easy for you because your brain will force yourself to practice your speaking skills. So let's see. Let's see what it will be at your. Let me just a second, guys. We have a new friend to asking to join us. She's Charming. Her name is Charming. Let me see if she can join us here. So as I was telling you guys, it's always good to have someone else to practice speaking skills. So that's why I'm inviting you to join at our English speaking session at this English YouTube channel. So hello, Charming. How have you been?
Yeah, I'm good. And what about you?
Pretty good, to be honest. I was recording this English meeting. I was with Denver and Ralph, but they both, I don't know why, they both left at our English speaking session. Maybe they had a problem with their connection.
Connection.
Okay, Denver just got
Yeah.
back, and let me see if Ralph will be able to join again. So, Charmy, tell me a little bit about your last week. How have you been? Have a little while since the last time you joined us. So I'm so curious to know what have you been up to with your life.
Yeah, actually, last week I was so sick, so that I couldn't join any session. And yeah, actually, last week I was so sick that I couldn't make any concentration in my studies or anything. So I would like to skip our all of the studies and video session, all of this. so that I had to stop this session. And
Okay. But
now
are you
this week
feel
I'm
better?
so good. Yeah, I am feel better, and so that I am here, and I'm late because I was praying my prayer, so that I was quite late.
No problem, no problem. You are just in time. So I'm so happy that you made it time. You put some time apart to join us here because I have been thinking about what you we should be talking about today. It's quite difficult to bring topics to discuss here because at the beginning it's easier, but after a while it starts to be difficult to find new topics, to find new job to discuss at our English group. But I decided to do some things like, for instance, today our English topic to be environmental. So we're gonna talk about every question that it to be important to our environment, which means how can we help our environment, our planet to be healthy, to be better, to give better conditions for human beings and things like that. So today I brought this topic for talking. And the next topic will be something related to technology, another to be related to laws, related to medical stuffs and things like that. So each day we're gonna talk about one topic, just one topic, and we're gonna ask a lot of questions about this topic, some issues, some problem solvers that we are able to do by ourselves and things like that. So without further ado, I'd like to share with you my screen and let's see what we're gonna have for today. Just a second. Let me see here. Okay, right now I'm gonna share my screen with you one more time. Okay, this is here's better. So, guys, first of all, I really appreciate our time, and I'm so happy to see you again. I'm happy to see you, Charmy, again. As I told you, it have been a while. I'm happy to you, Denver, to be here again. I know it's quite difficult. Maybe we lost our connection with Rolf. I hope Rolf could join us again. Let me see during the conversation. Maybe he can try join. I don't know because our English speaking session sometimes doesn't allow to me to join other people when I start recording this English meeting. So let's see what is happening today. And without further ado, I'd like to say for everyone who are watching us again that we are YouTube channel. We are You As You Can YouTube channel. So here we have been post every speaking session that we made it with our partners. And our main goal with this YouTube channel is just to share our knowledge, to share our way of learning, to share our way of speaking in English. So that is the main goal of our this YouTube channel. We are not English teacher, just for you have an idea. And here it will be, we have a lot amazing conversation, so many conversations with our friends from all over the world, as you can see. And it's for free. You can just subscribe at our YouTube channel to be part of our English community. You must to watch it and understand how things works, how our English speaking session works. So here, as you can see, as you're gonna see today, we're gonna make some talks, ask questions, and people will answer them at their time. So we are not, as I told you, we are not English teacher. We are just English learner. So we will not make pressure. We will not make any judgment about their English or about your English skills. Here, the purpose is to work on grammar, structure, and of course, fluency. So these three topics it will be our main goals here at our YouTube channel. So let's see how is each one about our English speaking session. So today, as I told you guys, our topic is to be environment. So as you know, probably you know better than anyone, because we are watching a lot of news on media, social medias, and on televisions and things like that, that our planet, our world, unfortunately have been facing so many issues, so many trouble about environmental stuff, which means we have been facing climate change, we have been see short age of food. We have been seeing a lot of these countries that have been facing for have no more air condition and things like quality air or things like that. So that's why I decided to bring this talk. First of all, I'd like to ask you, Charmy, it's your turn. About your point of view, are there legal laws where you live? If so, what is the penalty for the leading? So I don't know if you know exactly what means leader because I didn't know. I didn't know until I started this English session. So I Google it and I noticed that it's trash. It's the same like trash. So are there any trash laws at your where you live? And if so, what is the penalty for the littering, for trashing, for just leave trash on the street, leave trash on the prohibited places? So you cannot leave trash in private places. You cannot leave trash on the environmental place, environmental local. So, and at your country, at your opinion, is there any law that prohibits these things at your country? If so, what it would be some penalties? People can be jail, can be go to the jail just to do that, or people will just pay some fines, some taxes to do that in a wrong place. Did you get information? So it's your turn.
Okay, well, actually, in my country, all over the country, there is no special law or something like that is you have to punish for these things. To if you throw the glitters in anywhere, then you have to punish. But in our country, there are some workers, and it's like in our city corporation workers, they have cleaned whole city. But there are no laws about this littering, penalty for littering. And absolutely, when we are living in someone's personal property, then we have to keep that property clean and neat and clean. And we didn't throw the garbage anywhere. And that is like you have to know the normal, how can I say? You have to keep your places neat and clean, but it's not like that. You have to do, otherwise you have punished for this thing. So we are when we are thinking about cleaning or something to live a nice place, live in a nice place, then we have to we have to always clean the property and the places. But we, especially some places that we can throw the garbages, but there are no strict laws for penalty for littering. So it's normal, I think. And in our country, actually, everyone like there is like their own mentality. If you have the importance for cleaning your places or your property, then you have to do things own for your own environment. So it's like it depends on everyone's attitude or personality. That if you are very clean and you want to clean neat and clean places, then you have to do for its own. But if not, otherwise, personality to that you have to clean all of these, all of other stuff. So there are no law actually, but everyone knows that what we have to do. So it's like everyone's personal opinion.
Nice. So even though if you your country has no providing some law to specific situations like this, but the population, the people are well oriented to do the right thing, right? So people are people know that they do not have to leave trash on the streets. They do not leave trash on the environmental place. So that is a very good situation. So if you people just respect without law, that is a better place. That is a better point of view. But unfortunately, my country is not the same. In
They
Brazil,
are
people here in Brazil, people unfortunately they just obey things if they have a law, if they have some obligation to do it. Because I when I'm walking around my neighbor, when I'm walking around my city, unfortunately, I always watch it. I always saw some things like that, trashy on places which should not be there, and people just trash it. Even though a little paper, a little piece of paper on the streets from the cars, they just trash on the again. They are just driving, but they are maybe eating some things, some groceries, and they decided just to throw it for the window of their car. And that is a sad situation, but that is true. Unfortunately, in Brazil, there are a lot of people who have no idea how to live in a cleaning place, how to live in a cleaning country. But of course, we have so many people here in Brazil that it's good people. They love to protect the children future. You know, if we take care about our environment in actual moment, we will have a good environment for our future, for our childrens and our loved ones. So we must care about our environment now to have a better future. And how about you, Tanver? How about your opinion related to cleaning word?
Firstly, I would to say that our country is domestic country, and there are so many people living, and every people mind it. It is not matter whenever they are trust in the place, and it is not matter because our government do not provide any law or any fine when they are provide and when they waste clean and place waste by a trust, and some bottles, some plastic. Every person don't care about environment. It is mainly affected for careless people, and for, how can I say, for cleaning, for I think people do not have any concern about a trust. And every person always stay place, and but they are always try to clean their home, but they are do not try to any road, any environmental place. They do not cleaning, but our government always provide a city councillor, and there are so many employer, and they have to cleaning any trust, and without payment, people every payment pray government, and employment always work it. But I think government when provide any law, any fine, and people have to do it, and people have to cleaning every place, and people keep cleaning every environmental place. I think it is helpful or useful our environment, our air pollution, and it is change our climate. Always the climate always important of our nature, and it is always grow our some trees, and cleaning always should better than trust place.
Yes,
That's it.
indeed. Indeed, I agree with you. People, I'm so sad to hear that people, since at least
Yeah, our country people do not do not awareness our environment. They have
Yeah.
always lazy person.
Yeah, but honestly, there are a lot of people all over the world that is like people like you are saying. People, there are a lot of people who doesn't care about their environment, and they are made a lot of mistakes because if you, as I told you, if you do not care about your environment or you do not care about the health conditions of the globe, people will face struggles, will face problems like we are doing now. We have been facing a lot of storms, a lot of floods, a lot of shortages about foods
Yeah, yeah.
and things like that. So first of all, let me welcome Natalia. Hello, Natalia. How have you been? Nice to see you.
I'm good, Alex.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. So thank you to join us. Natalia is from Indonesia, for everyone else who don't know yet. And Natalia is another English partner of this English speaking session. So welcome again, Natalia. It's always a pleasure to have you here. And as we are talking, Natalia, we were talking about environment. Okay, so today I brought some many topics related to our environment, related to some issues that we have been facing, and related to how can we do the right steps? How can you do better to not see any situations like this picture above here? When we see a lot of trash just spent on prohibited places, and to do the best we must to select, we must to separate to so trash from things that we can use again, we can use again, we can as we can call recycle, you know. So that is what we are talking about before you join us. So just for you have an idea about this. So Natalia, about Indonesia, so tell me a little bit about your the care about the environment at your country. So are there any laws that prohibit people to leave trash on the streets, to leave trash on places which is private? And if there are laws about it, so how which penalty it will be posed, it will be imposed about these people who are leaving trash on private places? Do you know what I mean? So would like to say about it something like that?
Okay, thank you, Alex. In Indonesia, government say to everybody about that, take care to our. And what is the penalty? No penalty in Indonesia. Nobody care about that because government always every day, every morning they come to house and then they take from government with truck and then yeah, only that.
Yes, I got you. In Brazil, it's the same. We have some programs that the government provides. Local government, of course, is more in charge from the local government, and they provide a truck, like you said. They provide a truck that took our trash in front of our house every day. So at least every day, sorry, no, it will be twice a week. So twice a week, there will come a truck which will collect the trash and take the trash for the a huge place with they will gonna make some treatment before discard, before even discard this trash on the environment. But that is the basic way to take care about the trash, but it's not the right, I believe it's not the best way, because this trash that they catch on front of our house will for a place that is called how can I say, um, they call her in Brazil like a terro, but I don't know in English how can I call the place which they took our trash from. So, but it's not the best way to take care about our environment, because this trash that these trucks catch in front of our house is exactly trash. Is it will be treated as trash, not as recycle, because they will put all these things in one place. But there are another way to do it, as we are seeing in the picture below, which has a lot of colorful recipients, colorful box that we can see. We have box for plastic, for metal, for glass, for paper, and organic stuff. So doing this way, we're gonna have a better results because we're gonna see a paper that we are not using anymore. This paper will for the company who will treat and will reutilize, will recycle this paper. So that's what I'm trying to say to you guys. So it's not the best way just trash or just put everything on the same bag, on the same package, and just throw it for the government take it, because the government unfortunately will not treat, they will not treat the in the right way our trash. They just deposit this trash at the same place, and this will hurt our globe. This will hurt our soil, you know. But that's it. Hello, Alice. Welcome to this English speaking session. Nice to see you.
Hello, nice to see you guys.
So, Alice, just for you have an idea, we were talking about today. We're gonna have many topics about environmental stuff. So, I'm talking about trash now. I asked people if there any laws that prohibit people leave trash on the streets, leave trash on prohibited places, and if there's any law like this, I'd like to know what it would be the penalty for people who doesn't obey the law. So I'd like to hear about you, Alice, talking about China. What do you think about this topic? So, are there little laws where do you live? So, where you live? So, which means, just for you know, litter is the same like trash. You know, it's just another word to describe trash. So, are there any trash laws where you live? If so, what is the penalty for trashing things on the street or places which does not need to have trash?
Okay. Actually, I think we don't have very strict litter laws. But we have some rules. We regard this as um moral rule, not to littering on the streets. But fortunately, in my city, there it's very clean. There is nearly no litter on the street. Although we don't have this kind of law, but people think that protecting the environment and keeping the city clean is our duty, because everyone wants to enjoy a very clean environment. And besides, we have some cleaners in who is responsible for cleaning the streets. So maybe sometimes there is some litter on the street, and at this time the cleaners will clean this. And besides, we have some other rules about litter, which is we should divide the litter into different categories, um, such as recycle litter and the toxic litter, and besides, we also have kitchen litter. So I think, and I don't know, but when I was a graduate student in Shanghai, at that time, this littering category, how can I say, this law, dividing litter into categories law is very strict at that time. Maybe if some people do not do this, they will be fired. But now in my city, now I live in Beijing. This law, this rule is not quite strict. We will not be fired if we do not do this. So I think a lot of people don't care about dividing the litters into categories. They just throw the litter in the rubbish bin. But the good thing is that people do not throw the litter on the street.
Okay, okay. It's nice to hear that China has some incentives program to incentivize to help people to recycle things, put apart which way of trash which can be recycled. For instance, plastic, for instance, metal, as are seeing on the screen, related to glass and paper. So these are stuffs that can be reutilized, can be recycled. So that is very good. I like to hear that. And the next topic about environmental, guys. So, Charmy, it's your turn. Do you think cars should be banned from city centers? And explain. Of course, we are thinking about the environment. We are thinking about the better way to take care about our environmental stuff. So, thinking about that, could you answer this question? Do you think cars should be banned from city centers?
Actually, I have no better ideas for this question, but I think that cars should not be banned from city centers, but they have some rules. They should apply some rules for car parking and some different sectors to um, like the vehicle system to maintain their traffic signals or something that can help us, but it's not like that the cars should be banned from city centers. And in actually for the present time, there are improvement for improvement in FCT. There are a lot of laws for this traffic problem. So whenever it's in our country, it's very common thing that we are facing lots of traffic problems for these cars and private cars, especially. So in my country, I think they should play some strict laws, but it's not like that. Cars should be banned because when the cars should be banned in from city centers, that it will be very high. But otherwise, when we are using some high quality bus that is helping for different sectors and maintain good timing and
Charmy,
good
Charmy,
service.
just a second.
That
Just a second. I'd like to ask you, are you using your microphone today? How can you speak? You speak directly onto your notebook, at your cell phone, or are you using a microphone?
yeah, I use my Bluetooth connection.
Okay, because your audio system is not so well, we have some difficulties to understand what are you talking. I don't know if you can try adjust this. Let me see if you can put a little bit longer from your face or shorter, just to see how is your audio. Try again.
Okay, I can remove it. It's okay.
Yeah, just to see if we can get a better audio from you. Okay, can you try again? Try speaking again, just to
Okay,
see if we
can you
can.
hear me
Oh,
clearly?
now it's much better. Much better, much better. So go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, I want to talk about that in our country and in high quality areas, that city centers are absolutely in those areas should be maintain some strict laws and some rules and regulations to maintain the traffic problems. But it's not like that cars should be banned or and it may occur some problems also because when someone's have their health issues, then it will be very bad things for anyone to get private transport and public transport. So sometimes it really needed for to spend their private cars, but whenever it's actually in public areas, that is there are so much traffic in roads, and those areas it's like we have to avoid these things and avoid cars. But I think all of this is depend on areas and also some rules and regulations who people are we have to think that the people who are using cars, and they maintain their rules or their related those things that is actually dependent on their own cities and city law. So if there are a very strict law, then all of the people have to maintain those laws, and it will be smoothly arranged when there are some good rules and regulations. But whenever it's like a traffic areas that is there is so much traffic, then we have to maintain, or sometimes we have to ban cars. So it's all of things depends on areas, I think, and also the countryside.
No, I agree with you 100%. There is no way to, unfortunately, there's no way to live without cars because, in my case, for instance, I'm working so far away. I should say that it's far away from my house. Every day I must to go to job, and I took at least 1 hour by my motorcycle. Using motorcycle, I took 1 hour to get to my job every day, and it's more than 55 kilometers away from my house, and I need to go there. I ride my motorcycle every day to do it. And can you imagine if we had no cars, if we have no ways to get there go faster as I usually do, maybe I will not have job. So or I should live it closer to my job or things like that. But I agree with you. Must People must to use their smart skills to create more laws which will be more efficient to the traffic problems that we are facing. And another way I'd like to know about you, Denver. What do you think about this topic? Do you think that cars should be banned for city centers? And could you give me away from a solution to reduce the pollution about cars?
Hello, Alex. It's my turn.
Yes,
It's
it
my
is.
turn. Can you repeat this? Sorry, I could not hear.
Okay, Denver was at the bathroom. So, Denver, do you think that cars should be banned from city centers?
Wait, Alex.
Okay, maybe we have some problems with Denver
Okay.
connections. Can you hear
I
Denver? Can you
yeah,
hear us?
yeah, I hear. I can hear.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
I try to about our traffic congestion. I think in my country there are so many vehicle, and recently our city's construction road, and our road is very length recently, and I think there are should be the government should be banned some lowest qualities vehicle and some damaged qualities vehicle, because they are provide some soil and some fuel, and how can I say, it is like kind of affect our air pollution environment, and that's why this kind of vehicle should be banned. Government it's apply. And another thing that's government always try to some law it is such kind of some sound rules, vehicle sound rules should be provide. It is better for our environment and for us, because when we are here lot of sound, and it is our health problem and body problem. Another thing Another thing that when a vehicle commit and vehicle transportation anywhere, and it is okay, Alex. I uh, go to again, and you
Okay, no,
you understand my answer, and I think.
yes,
But
I do.
I would to say that vehicle always provide, and I think is our country some CNG. CNG is like kind of car, but it is not. There are no AC, there are no air condition. That's why it is. I think should be banned, and the government another law provide, and such as our country is highest cost is when people purchase any car and any private car. It is very high. It is very, how can I say that, it is very highest cost is, and such as when some car they are purchased, and it is about more than 20,000 or $30,000, and it's not carry our country's people and middle class people. That's why when richest people always it is purchased, and but general people always public transportation there are so many uh, problem and so many causes, and that is our countries some bus our cities some bus always commit in my cities and in my city roads, and the buses employer and bring uh, always bring more people, and they carry, and some people always stand, and some people always sit, some people always sit by commit. How can I say, because our around so noise, that's why I cannot clearly example provide you. Sorry, Alex.
Okay, no problem, no problem. Let me just jump for the next English partner, just to
Alex,
on us.
Alex, I have a one question. Can you answer this question?
Of course, I can. I do
Okay,
not
okay.
think I do not think that cars should be
But
banned
you can,
in my. I
it's like your countries.
Yes, I do not think that cars should be banned at my country or the globe. Honestly, I know that we need the cars. We need to move away, move faster, fast for other ways, other places, and that is the main purpose of the cars. And of course, talking about the solution, I should say that we need more solutions than prohibit the vehicles. As you can see now, talking about pollutions, talking about vehicles pollution, we have another options. We are facing the new era, as I'd like to call it. It is electric cars era. We have been see, for instance, Tesla have been provide a lot of ideas for the globe, for every company, each company all over the globe. But we have been seeing a lot of other companies like BYD have been build a lot of electrical vehicles
Uh,
and
It
more.
is positive things. I think it is positive things.
Yeah,
But I
that's it.
think if your causes things, and your cities some causes vehicle, can you and can you say that?
I don't know if I got your questions,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
as I told you, does not needed. I believe that is not necessary to ban it car from these seats. But I had an example about my own country, Brazil, for instance. There are a lot of specific streets, specific avenues that big vehicles, for instance, trucks, they are not allowed to circulate it on these areas and the terminal in certain times. For instance, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., these big vehicles, these big trucks, will not allow to circulate on the middle of the cities because the traffic, to reduce the traffic, to reduce the transit, the big vehicles will be more slower than the car, the vehicle car and little car and things like that. So that is some rules that the government have been provided to reduce the traffic and to be traffic more enjoyable. But it's quite difficult because every day people have been bought cars, bought motorcycles,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that is the issue, man. To be honest, it's not a car. It's the people have been buying 2, 3 cars for the same family. So I don't think that it's necessary to have 2 cars or 3 cars for the same family. But that is not my question here. My question is about the pollution. As I told you, the environmental way to reduce the pollution. For instance, the vehicles is providing CO2 from our atmosphere, and CO2 is very prejudiced, produces out our atmosphere. So we needed to reduce these emissions. So that's why I told you. That's what I told about the electrical cars. I believe that electrical cars would be the answer, the right answer for this moment, at least. And
Yeah,
thank you, Taper.
you say that electrical car or electrical vehicle is it's better than some fuel vehicle, fuel user vehicle, because fuel when fuel is oldest and says, how can I say, low quality. So when fuel use engine, and then fuel low qualities day by day, and then they provide the fuel provide some air pollution, and it is effective for our environment. That's it. Yeah, yeah, I got
Exactly.
it. Yeah,
Exactly.
I
But right now, I'd like to pass the answer for Alice because Alice is living in a country which will so developed, well developed when we're talking about technology. And for instance, as I told you about BYD, I believe that BYD is a Chinese company. I believe so. And it is another, how can I say, is like a huge challenge for Tesla vehicles, for instance, for Tesla company. So BYD and Tesla have been facing a lot of dispute, a way of dispute, of course, a good one, because it's better when we have a lot of opportunities to decide which company I'm gonna bought my car, because the prices will be lower if we have more people offering the same product. So I'd like to ask about you, Alice. As you live in a huge city, I'd like to know, first of all, do you think the car should be banned from city centers? We are talking, let's consider the pollution system, that let's consider more the environmental, care about our environmental healthy. And after that, I'd like to know what type of solution do you think it would be better for this issue?
Okay. I think cars should not be banned from city center. Maybe we should just control the traffic jam, but banning the cars is too strict. I think no. I don't know, but in my opinion, no city will do this. We in the city center, we can always see there are many cars. Um, all the city I have been is like are like this. Uh, but I think controlling the cars in the city center is a very useful rules. For example, in my city, the traffic jam is very terrible, and because there are too many people living in my city, and it's quite huge. So our government try to control the numbers of the cars. Mm, Before as for me, I don't own a car because I don't have the for a car. If I want to have a car, I need to wait in the line for several years. Um, our rule is like this. If you want to have a if you want to own a car, you need to apply for the car, and then every year your score will be higher. And for example, if you wait for a car for 10 years, then maybe you will have 30 or 40 scores. This score is for waiting, but that's not enough. If you have children, you will have some other scores, because our government thinks that for adults it is not essential to own a car. They can use public transportations, but if you have a very young child, at this time, it's not quite convenient to use the public transportation. So you will have the privilege to apply for a car. And besides, we also have some other rules. Our the last number of the car. Every car has its own car number, and if the number is an odd number, such as 1, 3, 5, and then maybe you can only use the car on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if the last number of the car is 2, 4, 6, and then you can use this on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, such as days. So we use our government try to use a lot of policies to control the numbers of the car. And when I was traveling in Singapore, I found that there was no traffic jam in Singapore, but actually the density of the population in Singapore is quite high, but they control the traffic jam very well. And then I searched some car controlling policy online. I found that the Singapore government will charge a very expensive fee for owning a car. It's extremely expensive. So the majority of people choose to use the public transportation, and only the taxi, such as Uber cars are on the street. So if you have some urgent thing, you can just call a Uber car and to go to somewhere else. But if you don't have an urgent thing, you can use the public transportation. So that's why there is no traffic jam in Singapore. And so I think my opinion is that we car in the city center. That's too extreme. We can just try to use some control for these cars. Okay, that's
Okay. I got so, how can I say? It was so nice. It was so interesting to learn a little bit more about China controls, policy controls about vehicles. And I never heard about that before. But here in Brazil, I never heard about China, of course, because here in Brazil, we have the same in huge cities. For instance, São Paulo, which is a huge city in Brazil. We have something similar, like you just said. We have we called her. Let me see here. How can I say this in English? Let me see here. Just a second. Relay. Yes, we have some relay laws for vehicles, which means depend on the final number of your plate, of your car plate. Like you just said, every car has a number. Here in Brazil, every car has a plate, which the last number which your car got at your plate will say to us how many days or which days of the week you can use your car at the traffic time. So it's almost the same. It's similar what you just said. For instance, it's like a relay policy. You cannot use your car every day, every time. You just must use your car at a certain time of the day, and after that, you cannot roll your car on the streets, because if you do it, you're gonna be punished. You're gonna be take a ticket to pay and things like that. People will apply some tickets. People apply some fines to you, and you're gonna must to pay some money to spend some money because you do not obey the law. So that is some things that we have here. But at my city, fortunately yet we have no rules like this yet. So here in my city we can I can use my car all day long and a whole week. So we have no problem because our city is not so huge yet. Our city has not so many traffic. But uh, São Paulo city and maybe Rio de Janeiro state, they will have some laws like you just said for us. So thank you for sharing, guys, your opinion. I'm so glad to hear. I'm so happy to hear. I'm so interested in learn a little bit more about your rules of your countries, and that is very interesting to know. And congratulations for the government who is trying to make policies to reduce the problem of traffic jam, like Alice just said. And thank you, Alice. I learned a new word from you. I was hearing you said traffic jam, and I just googled it. What is exactly traffic jams means? Let me see here. And I noticed that it's exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't know until right now. So thank you for this new word. And let me change for the next topic here. Now, it'll be very interesting. I hope so. Charming, tell us a little bit about how has the world changed since you were a child about technology, values, environmental health, and things like that. So, would you like to answer this question? How has the world changed since you were a child?
Actually, I didn't think about it. I need time. So you can carry on, then I will say about it.
Okay, Danger, it's your turn. How has the world changed since you were a child? You can talk about the changes that happen in the technology or values of the human beings or environment or health. You can choose any topic and say to me, since you were a little child, what do you think things changed so much? Not? What do you think about it? Tanvir, are you there? I believe that Tanvir is at the bathroom again.
Yeah, I can hear. What's the question?
Yes, it is your time. It's our turn. I'd like to know how has the world changed since you were a child? Technology, values, environmental, or health? You can choose a topic and you can explain how this topic have been changed since the years have been passing since you were a child.
Yeah. I got it, and thanks you, Alex. The better question for me, and it is every person for better question because it is so common with our daily life. And I say that when I was a child, and I cannot remember. It is our I cannot remember about the worldwide facilities and about the technologies, but I do not use. And when I was child, our countries has no more technology, and no our countries in that time our countries has a no technology growth. It since 2005 or 2006 our country has no special technologies. And because today's our world and worldwide is increased technology, and it is so valuable and for our daily life. And but when I was child, it is not valuable, and we cannot use. But I don't know about your country, but my country has a so poor technology. And But recently it was increased and it was better than previous times, and technology is rapidly sense in our life, and technology every time we can use technology, and every time we any tasks we solve by technology. Every sector has a technology use every person. And when I now I talk about a question with you by technology. Technology means it is a mobile phone. Mobile phone. Without mobile phone, I cannot talking with you, and I cannot speaking with you. Whenever even I talking a video call, it is increasing our technology.
Yes, that's it. Thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah,
sharing
yeah.
that.
Not such. Not. I think any and it is valuable for us, and our country's people is so impressed and by technology, and every adult or every middle ages people has a smartphone. And some student, every university student has a computer, and they are always provide any assignment to teacher, any assignment with a teacher, and by a computer they always solve any question, they always try to work. And I think you do not know, and recently our country is a has our country is a grow up by it. Freelancer is most probably our economic contribute, and economics day by day grow. Our country's economic day by day grow by a freelancer means it is you know that freelancer, I think you know that. But it is and they are working freelancer by a computer, by a smartphone. And in my home there are so many technology: TV, television, fridge, or or electricities, or washing machine, oven, everything, a rice cooker, or everything provide contributed technology. And I think technology rapidly change in my life, and I think I understand you. Can you hear?
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah, yeah. But since when I was child, I cannot remember. It is so helpful us. But now I believe that technology is more beneficial for our life. Okay,
Yeah,
that's it.
indeed, indeed, you're right. Technology is almost impossible to live right now without technology. I don't know how could be without internet, without laptops, without cell phones.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know. I don't know about you. And let's see. Let us know a little bit about since you were a child. Things have been changed a lot. What do you think about technology, values, environment, or health? Could you choose a topic and feel free to answer this question for us, please?
Okay. I think since I was a child, everything has changed a lot these years. Actually, everything has been changing. Yes, technology is it's something that that has been changing all around the world these years. But in China, because these years our country has gradually developing very fastly. So everything changes a lot. For example, the mm, the economy and the values and the policies. Let me give you some example. When I was born in 1996, and at that time, our country had a very special policy, that was one child policy. Um, I I don't know to judge this policy. Maybe it's not a good policy. I don't know, but at that time it was quite strict, and our government wanted one couple to have only one child because the population of China was very large at that time. So they want to control they wanted to control the population. But now, after 20 over 25 years, our policy has changed. Now, because of the very high education fee and the high house price, the young generation have very big pressure in the daily life. So the birth rate in China is extremely low. And as for me, I am the only child of my parents, and actually, in our own opinion, we will think that maybe having one children is good. We don't want to spend too much money on raising the children because of the high education fee and the house price. So, and in China, we only want one child, and give this child extremely good education. A lot of Chinese people think like this, so that's why the birth rate is extremely low. And now, our government encourage us to have 2 or 3 children. But although our government encourages us to do this, but no one want to do this because of the pressure. So I think this changes a lot. And I think I suddenly think of a very interesting thing. When I was young, my mom and I was watching the news, and in the news, they said that some Germany people choose not to have child because they don't like child. And the birth rate in Europe is very low. And at that time, my mom commented that she thought that was ridiculous because children is very important. Everyone should love children. And for Chinese people, although at that time our economy was not as good as Europe, but everyone wanted to have two children. But we could only have one. And my mom thought that she couldn't imagine why Germany people thought like this. But it's very interesting that after 20 years, all the Chinese people think like this, and our birth rate is lower than Germany. Than Germany. It's very interesting. And another thing that the environment. The environment also has changed a lot in my because this is just because of the development of the economy. 25 years later, the economy was not so good. So the education in China was not so good. A lot of people in China have didn't receive didn't receive high school degree and a bachelor degree. They at that time, a lot of Chinese people only went to the middle school and then quitted the school. But now, nearly all the generation have finished their high school, and maybe 40 I don't know exactly. Maybe 40% of the young people have got their bachelor's degree. So, because of the education, our environment also becomes very good. For example, we don't litter everywhere. We respect other people. We don't steal things, and we like to help other people. And we other people want to keep the environment clean. But 20 years ago, there were a lot of people stealing from stealing other people's things. And when I was young, I had to look out when I was shopping in the shopping mall, because there were a lot of thieves. But now there is no thief. Okay, that's all.
Wow, that's very interesting. I like the short story that you told about the comparison about the Europe and about the China or Chinese people thinking about a way about to have a child, like you just told us, how things change it, how things can change it in that way, in that level. So that was very interesting and a funny way to think about it. So thank you for sharing this. And yeah, we already talked about that before. I remember that you told me some short stories about it. This type of rules, as you told you, is one child rules. So it was very sad. I don't know, in my opinion, of course, but I'm so happy to see that things changed, changes developed, and people think it different. People are thinking different right now, and that is the way of the way of who we are. We are human beings. We think it different, and we change our opinion day by day. So that is. Thank you so much, Charmin. It's your turn. Would you like to say, like to answer, or talk about this topic? Without we finish before we finish this English meeting, we are about to finish here, but I'd like to give you the chance to practice.
Okay, if you have time, then I can say something about values. Okay,
Of course, go
actually,
ahead.
yeah, I think that is like a good thing for me. I can explain something about values because since my childhood, I saw a lot of differences from this value sector because when we are since we are child, we saw that values, everything's pricing system and values is going so highly, and it's like thinking about anything that is in our world. Everything's price is very high in those times, that is present time. And when we are child, I heard about something in from my father, that is like in old times there are going that our fathers generation, I can say that they can buy everything. And actually the more interesting thing is that in this time, for 1 taka they can buy the whole market. And in those situation, and in present time, we didn't count the 1 taka, and we can't buy one chocolate also. So that is the differences, because in my old time, they can buy full whole market things, and now it's likely impossible to buy some good things in 1 taka. Actually, it's the currency of our country. So there is the differences, like values, everything, every things pricing system is going high day by day. And now in this world, it's very I think that it's very confidential thing, that in every country they have their own currency system, but in our country, the and present time is very sad thing that our pricing system in everything and grocery from grocery system to technological things. Its pricing system is going high day by day, and that is like big differences from my child and from the present time. And I think that is like affecting people's living system, that when pricing are going high day by day, and we can't afford things in a low currencies, in a low money. And actually pricing system is going to high, but our salary is not going high day by day. So it's very difficult to survive in this world, and in future it will be going high and high, but our salary is not going that much. So it will be very sad thing about to thinking about all of these things, that we are living in a world that is going improvement in improvement, but we didn't afford on those things, because our things pricing system is going high, and we didn't afford anything, and we want to improve our living, but we can't, because our salary is not good sometimes, and sometimes the pricing system is not good. So it's very difficult to survive in this world. So
That
I
is a
think that's
problem.
a problem. Yes.
That is a problem. I agree. I agree 100. I couldn't agree more. So I should say that I believe it, as you told you, all over the world we have been faced the same problem, which is things have been uh, taking high prices, but the salary is not follow the same paths, the same prices, the same heights. So we this is called inflation. Of course, we know that we must to face these inflations, but I think that salary should be accompanying, should be follow the same price. So, but unfortunately, that is not true. But I should say, for giving a motivation, guys, I should say about this topic, Charming, that people who are or people who knows to learn or to speak English, to have an English skills, to are able to speak English or reading or things like that. So people who are able to speak another language, a new language, have more chances to get more higher salaries. Do you know? So that's why we are here. We are investing time on ourselves. We are investing time on our knowledge. And if we got this ability, this skill to speak English very well, maybe we're gonna find better jobs. Maybe we're gonna find new opportunities. The world will open doors to us. The world will open doors to us, and we're gonna solve this problem. So that is my point of view. That's why I'm studying English. I'm looking for new opportunities. So, but to got these new opportunities, I must be ready when these opportunities come to me.
Right, absolutely right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking, and I know exactly what you're gonna mean about this, and I agree with you just said. Of course, we are talking about values. When I talk about values, it was more like way of think of people. People are think different since we were child. When we are a child, people we can say that people. How can I say here in Brazil, for instance, younger people who are just 12 years old, 13 years old. Unfortunately, women's, I should say childs, but I must say women's that has 13 years old, 14 years old, unfortunately, is already pregnant. So that is the value. That is the change of values that we are talking about. Do you know? So, but when we talk about prices, when we talk about difficulties that we are facing, we are talking about money. You can say prices. Yeah, I noticed that prices have been changing, and but we're gonna face it. We're gonna face it with courage. We're gonna face it with our better skills that we. How many skills you offer for the companies? How much they will pay? You know how many more they will pay? They will hire you. They will pay. They will pay high salaries for you. So keep going. Keep with your studies. Keep with your development, guys. I'm sure that English will be one of the best skills that we're gonna provide for the people, for the companies, or for ourselves. I'm studying English because I'd like to get more opportunities, and I have been noticing that English have been bringing a lot of opportunities. English already brought so many opportunities to me in Brazil, and maybe can bring so many opportunities and at foreign countries. Maybe my next job or my next travel will to be for a foreign country. I don't know what the futures will bring to us, but I'm sure that I'm gonna be ready for that. So that's my point. So, guys, that's it for today. I'm so happy to pass this time, to spend this time with you, practicing our English speaking skills, and to make to get so many informations. I learned so many things from your point of views. I learned so many laws about your countries, and we talked about environment today. So that was a blissful English speaking session, and I'm so happy. I'm leaving this English speaking session more with more values, with more skills than when I started. I hope you thought the same way. And for everyone who were watching us from YouTube, we're gonna finish this English speaking here. But of course, you can join us. You can subscribe at our English speaking YouTube channel. And maybe in the next English meeting, you're gonna be here with us. And I'm sure you're gonna like it if you had this opportunity. So people who are watching from YouTube, I hope see you in the next English meeting. So yes, you can is this channel. Don't forget the name and subscribe.